so heartless? How could you be so heartless?
G'day, welcome back guys. Today we're going to be taking a look at my $1,800 Ryzen build, so stay tuned and I hope you enjoy. So starting off, we've got the Ryzen 3600X, which is a 6-core 12-threaded processor with a base clock of 3.8 GHz and boosting up to 4.4. So it's a pretty solid choice over most Intel CPUs around that price point, so it's a pretty good deal, especially with the price point of $400. And of course, holding it all together, the motherboard, which is a B450 Aurorus from Gigabyte. Now, with support with 3rd gen Ryzen, you can obviously run this CPU, which is obviously why my computer's working. With dual channel DDR4, of course, HDMI, DVI-D if you don't have a graphics card, which you need a graphics card to run this CPU anyway, so it's not going to happen. It's got PCIe Gen 3 and M.2 with a thermal guard, as you can see on the back of the box there. High quality audio capacitors and audio noise guard with an LED trace path lighting, which you'll see further on in the video. RGB Fusion 2.0 with multi-zone LED light show design, supports digital LED and RGB LED strips. So if you want to put LED strips or RGB strips in your computer to give it a bit more flair, a bit more of a customizable look, then you can do that and also control it through motherboard software, which is great if you want to go down that path. Smart fan, 5 features, 5 temperature sensors and 3 hybrid fan headers with fan stop. So again, you can control that through motherboard software with 5 different temperature sensors on the board, on the North Bridge CPU, South Bridge, and obviously a couple others there. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. But all in all, it's a pretty solid board. It's got some good features packed inside it, and especially if you had only a little case or wanted to do a smaller build, it'd be really well set up for that, as it's a micro ATX form factor, as you can see. But with 2 PCI expansion slots, you can put 2 graphics cards in there. Good expansion with M.2, so you can put another SSD in there into the board, which is really great with if you want to expand it further, but your case doesn't allow for more expansion, so that's really handy. And as you can see, it's a pretty clean look. It's black, a little bit of orange accents on it because it's an Aurorus board, and yeah, I mean, you couldn't really ask for more from a little motherboard like this, and so far so good. Stays cool, 30 degrees, and I live in a pretty hot area in Australia, so it's doing well. So for my graphics card, I went with an RTX 2060 from Gigabyte. Now this is a 6GB version, DDR6, 192-bit memory bus, with the WindForce 2 cooling system with alternate spinning fans, which Gigabyte claims that it increases cooling and that sort of thing. It's got 2 90mm fans, and as you can see, they only spin up when the card actually gets hot, so it usually sits around 40 degrees, and as you can see, the fans aren't spinning, so it's obviously not hot enough for it to warrant the fans to be spinning, which is great because it keeps the system even more quiet, and even when the fans are spinning, you don't even hear them. With the core clock of 1755, it's pretty decent. I mean, for the money that you spend on an RTX 2060 and the performance it gives you, it's great bang for your buck, especially paired with this CPU. I mean, I'm playing Battlefield 5 on Ultra and getting, over 80 to 100 FPS on Ultra. So, I mean, I'm pretty impressed and pretty happy with how well that graphics card performs with this CPU. Now, I'll just quickly run through the rest of the system. So, for the power supply, we have a Gigabyte B700 700 watt power supply. For my RAM, I've got some Corsair Vengeance 16 gig, obviously DDR4 at 3200. So It's a little bit on the low side for Ryzen because, as we know, Ryzen does favour higher speed memory in order to maximise the performance of the CPU, so that'll be something I'll look to upgrade into the future. I have a Kingston 480GB SSD and two Western Digital 1TB blues in there as well, so I've got enough storage. I've got all my games on there, and personal files, photos, movies, all that sort of stuff, and I've still got plenty of space left, so I'm pretty happy. I also have a Cooler Master Liquid AIO, which, well, keeps the CPU nice and cool. I need to update my components checker on my computer to be able to actually see what temperature it's at, but I mean, I haven't noticed it, thermal throttle or anything like that. Of course, being an AIO, I would expect it to keep the CPU cool. Previously, with my Intel build that I had before, with this stock Intel cooler, I was seeing temperatures just on idle of around 35 to 40 degrees, doing like light sort of workloads, but then when I put this AIO on, I was seeing 30 degrees, so it was taking at least 10 to 15 degrees off what the original temperature was, so I'm pretty happy with that. And the case that holds everything together is the Deepcool Gamer Storm Earl case, which is pretty sleek looking. It's got a nice tempered glass panel on the side. From memory, it came with 2 fans, maybe 1, I can't remember. It was late last year I bought this, so anyway, I've been pretty happy with it. It's got a solid build construction, it's got plenty of room for everything, enough room at the back for cable management, it's got enough expansion slots, seems to provide pretty good airflow, it's got magnetic dust filters so it's easy to clean, and yeah, it just looks nice, sleek, and it complements the build pretty well. If you have any questions regarding this build or any of the components I've used in today's video, please feel free to send me a message, put a comment down below, and I'll get back to you with an answer. Anyway, that's the end of today's video. I thought I'd just give you a quick rundown of what the build is, what I've used, and a bit of a look around at the new system that I've built. So the next video will be benchmarking this, seeing how it's compared to my previous Intel rig, see if the price to performance is really worth it, and how much more of an improvement Ryzen is over the Intel build that I had before. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, give me a like, give me a comment, subscribe if you're new. There'll be a lot more content to come, and I hope you all stay safe and enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one.